definitely there's a lot of intense discussion would go on, but I think the most important thing is not just compromise, but make sure that the both ideas or opinions are being heard out.
Hey everyone, before we begin this next episode of the Hello Mentor podcast, I just want to say if you're job searching or hiring, check out hiredly.com. We are not just another job platform. We make it easier to find the jobs that people actually want, and we help companies stand out to hire the right talent. So there's a lot of smart tech and there's a lot of human touch. That's Hiredly. So you can head to hiredly.com and give it a go. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Hello Mentor podcast. We have Esther here with us today from Machino.
Hi.
Hi, Esther.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. So just to kick off, would you like to introduce yourself and what Machino is doing?
Okay, so hi again, I'm Esther, and Machino is a local shoe brand that I run with Amy, my sister, who is currently sick today. So unfortunately, she cannot make it today. Yeah, so I'm taking one for the team. So we run the shoe business and locally made, handcrafted. So now we are not just venturing into just shoes. We are also focusing in fashion accessories. So we started during pandemic 2020. So the brand has been ongoing for 5 years now. And I would say that as times goes by, we progressed as well. At the beginning, what we want is sell comfortable shoes and pretty shoes. Now, we don't just want to sell comfortable shoes and pretty shoes. We want shoes that bring emotional values to customers as well, or everyone who actually wears it, like in terms of when they buy it, what is the sort of sentimental values that get out of it. Because a lot of customers that actually get it for like their own wedding or birthday gifts, sometimes they actually buy themselves a gift and also ask us to put in a note to encourage them as well. So it's a very nice sentimental touch when it comes to, we are there to celebrate their mini milestones. So I think we are a brand that we want to not just focus about the tangible products that we sell to customers, but it's also the intangible values that we are able to provide to customers.
Right. So it's not just a commodity or product that's
Yes.
selling. There's some emotional value
Yes.
attached to it. Like, what does this represent?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I guess it comes down to a lot of, when it comes to us buying things these days, we actually be more mindful these days. So when it comes to buying, we also think about like how often can we use it? That's more like the sustainability practice. But how am I going to use it and what am I using it for? That's something that us as a business or as a brand, we are able to provide to the customer. Yeah.
And you obviously started this with your sister,
Yes.
Amy. And we read somewhere that your mom actually
Yes.
used to be in fashion.
Yeah, she's in the fashion industry. So I think I would say that she's a huge inspiration to start this business as well. I think a lot of people, when they ask us about like, when you and Amy wanted to start this business, how did your parents react? And then I think in the Asian household, everyone's mindset is like, don't go for like starting a business,
Be a
get your
doctor.
9 to 5. Yeah, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an accountant. Yeah, top 3. Yeah, but because our mom was a entrepreneur herself, she run a customized the clothing brand. So I think all this while we grew up with that kind of mindset that if we are fortunate enough to run our own business, why not? Just try it. Yeah. So throughout the journey, my parents have been very encouraging. So there was a period of time where my mom was building her business as well. So my dad also took like a sabbatical leave for like just a few months just to help get things running. So that was like before the peak of e-commerce. So I was also the one who kind of like have to take photos of the product photo, upload it to the website. And at the time there's no Shopify domain and everything. We have to create our own website via the JavaScript and all this. Then we have to like do everything very, very manually. But it was
This
a
was
time.
your mom's business?
Yes, my mom business. And I think I was like 14 years old. Yeah, I don't think I tell this to a lot of people. I think this is my first time mentioning it to like most like podcasts or something. Yeah.
Right. So is it like a Facebook shop or one of those?
Facebook shop, yes, but we actually create our own website as well. Yeah, so it's a lot of like coding because my dad has like IT background, so he did coding and everything, and then we upload it to the website, and then things just started pick up from there. We actually got like orders, like my mom actually had orders coming in from like Dubai or like US and all sorts of countries that we never thought that people would actually buy the baju, like the clothing from. Yeah, so it's all custom made. So I would say that when it comes back to seeing her as running her own business throughout our whole childhood, I would say that it's very inspiring for like Amy and I, and to the point where Amy also started her own Facebook page, so that we just go to Taobao and buy some clothes, or like there's like a wholesale mall in Malaysia where we just go get the stuff, and then she just sell it on Facebook, to a point where my parents are, oh, okay, she got quite a good business mind, but then they don't want it to kind of, disrupted like her studies, because she's only, I think that time she's only like 12 years old. Yeah, UBSR, or like Form 1, 13 years old, that kind of era. Yeah, so she just like shut it down lah.
Oh.
So just like a passion project, just to like see what's out there.
Oh, she's already like doing trading already.
Yeah. At that age, I'm just like, okay, I have to take photos. Yeah.
Right. And so also, so you were already helping out your mother's business at that.
Yeah, a little bit. Cause like on weekends or like on school holidays, sometimes we just go along our mom to the shop, just do like some cleaning, and she's watching her serving the customers, and then we just prepare some stuff. But of course, there's a lot of like naps in between lah. Yeah. Just like sleeping some naps. Yeah. But I think watching her running her own business, because she is the kind of person who kind of like ao ka liao, that kind. Like she does everything. She does all the sourcing, she does all the material buying, she does all the measurement for the customers. So from like customer service to the end of like designing and like sewing, she has like a team. But then I would say that 90% of the job is like a lot of like her own individual work. Yeah, so I think when it comes to that as well, seeing how she ran a business last time, I would say that I also want to see how we can make it even better when it comes to like running our own business right now in Machino. So I think one thing is very important is like talent acquisition, talent retention as well, because one person can do a lot, but a team can really bring you far. So I think that's also how Machino transition as well. When we have like the first person coming in, the second, the third, the fourth, we can really see that the business slowly picked up because of the team effort. Yeah.
Right. We'll come back to like how much is growing, but I'm very curious, like how did it first start? Because I read the story somewhere saying that like your was it your uncle or something was like like manufacturing shoes. Like how did that happen?
So it was during pandemic, and then my grandparents, because we're from Malacca, so my grandparents came from all the way to KL just to visit us, and then it was that time where he also visited his sister, my uncle, my grand aunt. So her son is my uncle, who actually is our first ever manufacturer. So I've never met this uncle before, but he's kind of like a quite close relative. So we were having a gathering at a house, and then he was mentioning that, we're asking like, oh, so how's life? What do you do now? And all this sort of stuff. So I'm just like, I'm still in uni that time, so I'm just listening there. And then my uncle was like, oh, okay, I'm still doing the shoes, like my factory is here. And yeah, business has been, I would say that he mentioned that pandemic really impact quite a lot on shoe business, especially when not a lot of people are shopping, and everyone is focusing on essentials, and not a lot of people are going out as well. So but then at that time, we are also looking for something to sell, because few months before that, we actually flew to China just to source and think of the business ideas. So a little fun fact as well is we have the brand name before we know what we want to sell. Yeah. So everyone was like, how do you even do that? So I said, I know that I always wanted to do something in fashion, but I just don't know what's the product yet. So we just took our time. So we registered the name first, like the on the IPO there. And then after that, when we slowly talked to my uncle, and then he said, oh, okay, if you guys want to do something, just let's go to the factory and see. Then we're like, oh, okay, let's just go ahead and see what's up with the local shoe business, just to learn as well. It doesn't have to be like a must go on kind of project. So we took around at the factory, and then the line of the direction is not really what we wanted, because it's very more of shoes catered for 50 and above. But then I think there was one sample that kind of just like, this shoe looks like it has potential. So I just took that shoe and I was like, oh, can we make something like this? And then with the kind of like the insole that we want, because the insole is the one that is very comfortable. So yeah, then for like months of R&D, about like 6 months, then slowly things just kickstart from there. Yeah. So it's a
6
lot
months of R&D.
6 months of R&D, because there's a lot of like structure in terms of like, oh, the heels cannot put this lah, because of the sponge is too thick lah, and all this like back and forth and everything. And it was during pandemic, and we couldn't really like travel there as well. So we would have to like communicate via WhatsApp. Yeah, so that was our source of communication, taking photos, writing notes, voice notes, and all this. So I would say that one was like how we communicated. And after months of R&D, so we had our first sandal, first heel, and then we try it out. We let our friends to try it out. We opened for like a close friends and families kind of purchase, just to get like their feedback. Then slowly things started from there. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't imagine like it takes like so many months
Yeah,
R&D.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of details that right?
Yes, yeah. Sometimes it's like the width, like even it's like 1 cm difference. It makes the whole shoes look different and feel different as well. So there's a lot of like learning process as well during this R&D process lah. Yeah.
And how do you and Amy work together? Like do you have specifically different type of roles?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of the most important part, and one part that helps a lot is we kind of know where we have to stand from. Yeah. So for Amy, she is doing marketing, branding, and more on like the customers, what customers see. So especially when it comes to like shoes design, she knows in terms of market research, she knows what type of customers shoes are in trend right now, what kind of shoes that customer like based on the feedback and everything. So from my end, I'm handling the operation side, the production side, the finance, the HR, just like more of like the head lah. Yeah, so from my end is when it comes to like shoes manufacturing or assembling, I will give her the feedback of how the shoe structure should be, because certain shoes, it looks pretty but it's not wearable, it's not doable. Then that defeats the purpose that we want shoes to be comfortable and pretty as well. Yeah, so we split our role more into, one is more production and operation, one is more creative, more pretty, the butterflies kind. Yeah.
I see, right. And
Yeah.
would you have commonly have difference in opinion?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think at the beginning stage, definitely we have a lot of strong opinions. But I would say that's because we never know how we are as like working each other, because we are 2 years age gap. I wouldn't have like that kind of group work or like coursework with her as well. So I don't know what kind of work personality she has, and likewise for her as well. So I think during the first year, it's a lot of like compromising and understanding, like discussion. I wouldn't want to use the word argument, this intense discussion. But I think the most important part is where we know what we want for the company and for the brand, which is like whatever that's best for the company lah. Yeah, so I think the ultimate goal has to be the same, but then in terms of the direction, because when it comes to like creating ideas, discussion, finalizing the idea, it's a lot of like back and forth communication. But I think the most important thing is you have to make sure that each of us are being heard out. Yeah, so that's the most important part. Yeah.
How do you resolve disagreement?
Disagreement. I would say that I am more like a free and easy kind of person. I'm just the kind of person, oh, you want to do it? If you can justify it, give me 3 very good reasons. And I'm very easy to be convinced, I would say. And then I would just say, okay, let's do it. Yeah. But for Amy, she's a kind of person, she's very detail oriented. So she has like a very specific things that she wants to do. So I let her handle it. But I'll only step in if I feel like that's not something that we can do or we should do, or let's make it better. So I'll only step in that sense lah. Yeah. So I think that probably helps a lot, because if there are two strong opinionated person in a company, definitely there's a lot of intense discussion would go on. But I think the most important thing is not just compromise, but make sure that the both ideas or opinions are being heard out. Yeah, that's the most important part. Yeah.
Right. At since you started the business during the pandemic, I mean, at the time, I mean, I can think of two things. You know, it was so unpredictable in the economy and all that, right?
Yeah.
And you're both family.
Yep.
So for your parents, isn't that such
Yeah.
a big risk?
Yeah, I would say, actually thinking back, I would actually wonder, why did my parents actually encourage me to just take a leap of faith and just do it. But I guess it's also a lot of, I think I won't ever take this for granted, but I feel I'm very blessed to be able to kickstart this, especially like during pandemic, when I think for business perspective, there's a very low MOQ. And the second one is, I'm very grateful that I met this uncle as well, our uncle, because without him, I'm pretty sure that maybe we're still in the business, but maybe it's a very different kind of business. Yeah, so there's a lot of like scenarios that will play out as well. But I would say throughout having this business in pandemic, especially when I don't really have like prior working experience as well, because I was still in doing online course, so I just like jump right into it, because it was supposed to be just kickstart it as like a side hustle. Then after pandemic, then only I find a job. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like, okay, that is like my after 6 o'clock kind of like project for Machino. So I just wanted to get like the website running and all this kind of stuff. But then I think I was in job searching for like a month each, 2 months. But a lot of once the economy like open up after the first MCO, a lot of people are not really looking for people anymore. And then my parents be like, why don't you just try this? Like, just give it a 6 months and just see where it goes. I'm like, oh, okay. So I still need to like register the company, like get most of the administrative work done. Then slowly things just pick from there. I think it was like the end of the year that I fully decided that, okay, let's give it like 1 year or two, see where this picks up. Because at the end of the day, I would never know if I never tried. Yeah, so just so happened that we kind of found like our iconic signature flower that is very spottable from everywhere there. And then things just slowly pick up, and then we just like, okay, this is it. So we know what customers want, so let's just give like our like 200% full force right now. Yeah.
Did it start off as this iconic flower, or you like try different things as well?
Yes, definitely. We tried for so many designs for like a year, because for me, I'm still learning a lot of like how the shoe structure should be. And then suddenly it was I think the flower idea came when it was the third pandemic, the most restricted RMCO, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it was sometime around August-ish, September. So it was where no one can actually go out to buy anything except one person in the household. So it was actually that time where we're just like, oh, okay, we cannot keep shooting for supermarket content anymore. That's too much already. Yeah, so I told him, let's just focus on what we can do after. Yeah, because no one is gonna buy shoes during pandemic and during this like RMCO period as well. So why not we just put more focus on what we can do once all this like gets more easy and the RMC will go like lifted. So I wanted to launch a colorful collection, because sometimes it's like after rain, then there's rainbow. So that's why I wanted to launch like a colorful collection. And then when we had the design already, something looked a bit empty. It looks nice, but something is missing. So I went to the kitchen and I spotted a flower keychain. So I just took that keychain and I just put it on my feet with that shoe. And I was like, okay, looks like doable. And I just take a screenshot and then I just told my uncle like, oh, can you help me to do a flower? So he used a paper cutout and then I actually showed him a prototype of like a 2D flower with like 5 petals. And then I was like, because when we are kindergarten, you usually draw flowers in like 5 petals. And then I was like, when my uncle cut it out, it's like 6 petals. I was like, okay lah, whatever lah, let's just go with it. Yeah, 6 petals, 6 petals. Because I think it also plays with a lot of like the physics as well. Because if it's 5, then it's like very curvy. And then when people wear already, it's like it will go upwards as well. So that's his justification of making it 6. So we're like, okay. I just like go with the flow, let's just go with it. And then he had the flower, we placed it on the shoe, and then it looks like, okay, it looks very dainty. So from there onwards, that's how Machino got recognized, is because of the flower. Yeah.
Right, the flower with 6 petals.
Yes, so now it is a 6 petal. So now I will never draw a 5 petal flower anymore. It's always 6 now. Yeah.
Oh wow. And sometimes I feel that when you want to start a business, right? The first idea is never going to be the one or the perfect idea.
Yes.
It's just that when you get started, you start moving.
Yes.
And you learn and you keep changing until you like hit that special thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like keep trying. I think it's a spirit that I would say all entrepreneurs like can relate to. Keep trying. You never know until you never try. Because another fun fact is before when I flew to China with my parents, sourcing for like what kind of like business ideas we want to do, I actually wanted to sell winter clothing in Malaysia. So when thought picking back, my dad was like, are you sure you want to sell that? And then he was like, pandemic, you still want to sell winter clothing? I was like, one day, why not? I'm gonna make that happen. Yeah.
But why, out of curiosity, why winter clothing?
Why winter clothing? I feel like there's a niche because in general, when we buy winter clothing, I'm speaking for my POV as a girl. When I travel to colder countries, winter countries, we have to buy winter clothing online. But then we have to always gamble in terms of the sizing, the cutting, because winter clothing is more bulky and it doesn't suit like all body types. So the physical touch is not there, so it's very hard for us to gauge like in terms of what kind of cutting suits me, the length, and like winter coat as well, like what kind of length like suits like different height of people. So that was the idea lah. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a niche, but pandemic happened, so shoes it is. Yeah.
Right, so if I use my own words, it's kind of like, it seems very strange to have a winter clothing shop in Malaysia, but at the same time, that's also why there isn't.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you start one, then you stand out.
Yeah.
Right? Like then you are the unique company and people will come to you.
Yeah. So that was the idea lah. For us, because in uni I study marketing, so I'm always trying to find where's the niche, where's the gap that we can close, and all this sort of stuff. So just trying to apply whatever that I've learned from uni and just put it to real life.
Yeah, and in marketing also this concept of like the purple cow,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So I would say that the winter clothing project is probably in another 10, 20 years. Yeah, that I hope that I'll be able to keep it going.
Right,
Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. It's just there on my mind. Like, let me focus shoes first, and I will come back to winter clothing one day.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I randomly see like a winter clothing business one day, it might be you. Right?
Yeah. Hopefully it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, and earlier you mentioned that you actually registered the brand
Yes.
before you even had the product. Can you tell us the whole idea behind the brand?
Okay, so I think a lot of aspect kind of made us why we want to have this brand that stands for the Malaysian culture. So not a lot of people know that Machino actually is not an Italian word. It's not a coffee drink. It's actually derived from 4 words that speaks about Malaysia. So MA, Malay, CH, Chinese, IN, Indian, and O for others. So it is something that people in Malaysia, I would say that these are one of the elements that what makes Malaysia Malaysian. Yeah. And then how this started, I would say that when it comes to from my mom's perspective as well, because we are a Chinese household, so seeing a Chinese household starting a business in Shah Alam, so her boutique is in Shah Alam. So there's not a lot of people in Shah Alam. I would say like Chinese people running the business in Shah Alam, I would say. So seeing her growing up, having so many different races of customers is very inspiring as well, because my mom grew up in Malacca and she grew up in the kampong, so her BM is very fluent, so fluent that I feel like, oh okay, she's, if on the phone speaking, you can actually feel like it's like a Malay speaking like Malay. Yeah, so I think that's one. And exposing to this kind of cultures very young age kind of make us feel like it's very different, I would say, because when we get to go to her customers or clients Raya open house, it's very different from like going to Chinese New Year open house as well. And she also not just make like Chinese cheongsam clothes, she also make like baju, she also make like sari occasionally for like her customers. So I think that's one aspect why we wanted to incorporate Malaysia emblems into our brand. And another was when I was doing exchange in Australia, when I talk about when we were all introducing ourselves, not a lot of people know where Malaysia is. They know Thailand, they know Singapore, but they just somehow accidentally skip Malaysia. So when I say about Twin Tower or like the food name, then they'll be like, oh, okay, I know that place. But the thing is like, oh, okay, so Malaysia is actually quite an underrated place as well. It's a beautiful country, but it's like a hidden gem where if you know, you know, that kind of stuff for tourists. Yeah. So that's also one of the aspect where I want to bring Malaysian brands or Machino first to a global level where people know where Malaysia is, what Malaysia is for, and what are the kind of people we have here, because it's a multicultural society, multicultural country where different types of races of people with like different cultures as well staying in a country. It's what makes Malaysia so beautiful lah. That's what I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
And from a design point of view, do you integrate any kind of Malay?
Yes. So for to make Machino very Machino, so Chinese New Year we incorporate like the cheongsam fabric, the brocade fabric, and then during Raya we actually get like songket from Terengganu, the hand woven kind, and then to make it into the Raya collections. And then during Merdeka time we would incorporate batik inspired kind of designs into our shoes as well. And then as for Deepavali, we will get like the accessories or get designs that create designs that actually kind of incorporates with the festive as well. Yeah. So I think for the past few years we have a lot of like Deepavali designs that it's just like, oh, this is inspired by the bangles that they wear for sari. And then I think last year we launched a design more like for a showcase to celebrate about this Deepavali, is using their lace that they use for sari, and then we paste it on our shoe, and then it looked like, oh okay, it's actually very wearable. So that's something that is in R&D right now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so I know both you and Amy have entrepreneurial, I guess, exposure from working your mom and stuff like. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a steep learning curve as a first-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What were some of your first challenges?
Yeah, I would say the first challenge, the first one definitely is working with, I would say working with a team of people that, you have other than work relationship with, because you will also have like personal relationship. You will have to have a lot of like boundaries. So at the start, it's a lot of like just work talk where we don't, we it's only feel like it's always 24/7 working, and we are all working from home, so it constantly feels like we are always working, always talking about work. There's not much of like family talk as well. So I think we kind of draw a boundary where if we are at the dining table, we don't talk about work at all, just that for that 30 minutes or 1 hour. Yeah, so we really have to cut ourselves, because at the end of the day, work is that work is life, but it's one part of our life that makes the whole life meaningful. We have to look outside of work as well sometimes. Yeah. So that's the first one. I would say the second one is definitely understandable that entrepreneur, you have to wear a lot of hats. Like you have to, today you have to be the operations lead. Today you have to be the HR. Today you have to be the finance, CFO, whatever. Yeah. So I think it's important to know everything, but it is also important to hire the right person to execute the task, or like to strategize in a sense that one person cannot wear too many hats, because it might not be suitable for your head as well. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I would say that hiring correctly and appropriately is very important as well. Yeah. So I think my first ever struggle when it comes to the business is because I don't have account and finance background. So I struggle a lot just to understand, like, the credit, debit, and then debit, credit, all these kind of terms. Yeah. So now after like 5 years, I would say that, okay, I understand already. Yeah. Because I'm not really a number kind of person, in the sense where during high school, where we have a course, like it's either you take like accounts or like some ERT, the cooking kind. So I took the account one because I was assigned to that, and I swore my whole life that I will never touch account or finance anymore, but I'm doing that now. So I cannot escape that life, but I'm just embracing it right now. Yeah.
How do you resolve it? Like that let's say it's not your strength.
Yeah. So the first one is talk to a lot of people, because I have friends who have like account and finance background. So I just like pick on their brains a bit and do my own research. Then after that, then we finally have our first ever account and finance executive in-house, because we know that even if we want to outsource it, that might be different kind of like ways of working as well. So we decided that, okay, maybe we just focus in-house and see where this takes us. So that's how it all started. Yeah.
How do you even decide who to hire when it's not like you don't understand the work?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, thankful enough, I have a friend who's kind of to help me with his account and finance background. So he helped me to interview that person to kind of like assess it. So I like belanja him makan, like just treat him like, it helped me. Yeah. So I think that one helped a lot. But it's also a lot of knowing what you don't know and seeing if the person know or not. Yeah. So definitely I have to do a lot of my own research first, like, like the P&L, what kind of like case study questions that I would need to ask and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So slowly from that, then things picked up. Now with more like account and finance knowledge, I would know what kind of questions to ask and what kind of questions that is able to help me to spot the candidates, the potential candidates for Machino. Yeah.
Right. When even when Hiredly was growing, I remember when we hired our first business analyst. Yeah, right. So he's heading our whole finance team now. But when we first hired him, it was kind of like, okay, we need someone to make sense of all the business metrics in the company.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know what a business analyst does. So it's a very funny story. So when he first joined on the first day, I was like, can you just do what a business analyst is supposed to do? And while you're waiting for direction. And then in the end, he was like the reverse. He was giving me direction.
Okay.
Yeah. But sounds like that's how like similar experience.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's a lot of like, that's not really our core. So we have to find the right person to shine and believe in them and let them like run. But definitely it's a lot of like learning as well. It's a learning curve for us as well. I mean, for me especially, is that I don't know and so why not you teach me as well, so that we can know how we can grow this company better. Yeah.
Do you have any other lessons learned from this hiring process?
Hiring process. One thing that I've learned is because I went to a course and they say that it's very important that you interview every week. Like you have to do interviews every week. It's not in the sense where you must hire or something, but it's kind of know that in terms of what are the kind of candidates are out there right now in terms of what kind of candidates are searching for jobs right now, what is the job market right now, is to keep yourself in loop in terms of like the hiring process. So that's something that we practice, me and Amy practice. So every one day of each week, we block our whole day just to do interview. So it's like 5 to 6 interview every day. Yeah. So when we come to screening through the interview, we are very diligent when it comes to, we ask about like not just about your 3 strengths and 3 weakness. It's also like why you want to join the company, because it's a small company. It's not too small, not too big, but it's a company where you are expected to excel. So meaning that you have to do more things outside of your comfort zone. So why would you want to join the company? Yeah, so that's kind of how we want to spot our candidate as well. They're eager to join, eager to learn, eager to grow. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's not so much that they have the right skill, but
Yes.
whether they are genuinely interested.
Yes, interested is definitely the one thing, because I think it has to have a very good balance of work ethic and work performance. Yeah, because if today a person who has like a very good work performance, but the work ethic, work attitude is not someone who can actually do teamwork, it will actually demotivate, or like it will actually harm the whole team morale. So that's something that us have to look into as well. Or today the person, or like vice versa, the person has a very good ethic, good attitude, but the thing is the work performance is not there, then it will also cause a lot of like issues as well. Like, because one job's not done, then the next job, how is the next person going to handle it? Yeah, so it has to have a very good balance in terms of the work attitude and work performance.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, in some sense, I remember someone was telling me that, trust, when it comes to trust, right?
Yeah.
If you ever think of trust, people always think, like a relationship-based trust.
Yeah.
That means I trust you because I think you're a good person, etc.
yeah.
Like good character. But
Yeah.
but there's also competency-based trust. That means
Yeah.
I trust you because I know you can get it done.
Yeah.
I can rely on you, you're reliable. Right? That's a
Yeah.
different kind of trust, but it's also very important.
Yeah, exactly. Because without that trust, then I think that's where micromanaging kind of starts as well. So there's a lot of communication, clear communication that must go on in company, because if not, then everyone is not just in the loop, everyone's in the dark. And then that's when the fingers pointing starts to happen, which we would never want that to happen. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So if everyone's on top of their work,
Yes.
then these things won't happen. Right?
Yeah.
And no one likes it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, even when it comes to like working as well, I mean, it's very important that everyone is like, updated, in the loop. And I think it's very important that when you are in the working timing, like let's say like 9 to 6, you are in that 100% working zone where you just want to give like your full force and just work. Yeah. So that's how efficiency and productivity comes, which we very value in Machino, because it is relatively like small team. I would say we are a team 10 to 15 right now. So you are expected to do something that is more outside of your comfort zone, but we encourage them to do it. It's not just because that we don't want to hire more manpower, but it is also good for them to learn, for personal growth as well. So for us, we don't just want to focus on company growth. We also want everyone in the team to grow personally as well. What kind of like ideas based on like, let's say, finance background will actually have like in marketing input. So it gives like a totally different view of things when it comes to strategizing, planning, and execution as well. Yeah.
Are there any ways you try to pull the team together?
Yes, so in terms of like during working, we always have a weekly meeting. So one meeting is just for general updates. That one is like a must. So we have like the meeting notes. It's just like updates each department, what's going on. So everyone is in the loop, even though that's not your department, but you must know what's going on with the company. Yeah, and then every week as well, we have like internal department meeting. So that's more of like the strategizing, the discussion part within the department. And after that, once updated, then at the end of the week, usually we will get like the department leads to have a meeting, so that everyone just cross-check in terms of like, okay, based on this project, this is the update. So how can we do it better and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So at the end of the month, we also have like a strategy meeting. So it's a lot of meeting and discussion, but I think that's how we grew our mindset as well, because like talking and then everyone just kind of threw in ideas how to make this one idea concise and perfect. Yeah.
Right, right. And back to your, I guess, your relationship with Amy and working together, right? So you did say, in the beginning, it's not like you did work together before and suddenly you're running a business together. What are some things you feel like you've learned about each other over the years?
Learning each other. I think given that Amy is the last child, so we have a brother. So I'm the middle child, and Amy is the last child. Usually, our perspective of last child is they're very wild. They really like don't care, like very messy in a way. But when it comes to work, she is more. I would say that she's more. She's the type A kind of working personality. She's so to the point of detail that sometimes even I miss out the certain details because I'm the kind of person who want things to get it fast. So if today you tell me that this is your angle, I will tell you that okay, I will give you this deadline. Give me a deadline of like 1-2 months or 3 months max, and I'll get it done. Yeah, if I hit any like obstacle, I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you what's the solution. So I'm that kind of person. But then she's the type of person where she is very detailed these days already. It's because like when it comes to marketing, I think you have to pay a lot of attention into like the colors, the level of like the font size, and all this kind of stuff. So it's all kind of like trained things. So I would never expect that she's that kind of person as well. Yeah. And given that she has a lot of like friends throughout like her childhood, because she's the type of person that never stops. So during like I mentioned, like she had like her Facebook page lah, and then during when she was like 15, 16, she started joining the Buddhist camp. So every week she has to go for like planning camp for like the youth camp. So it was so often that she's not at home that my parents say like, hey, you're only 15, 16 years old. Can you stay at home during the weekend? Yeah. But that is kind of, I would say that all these kind of like planning things makes her what she is as a person today, because all this like planning the like chasing, I wouldn't say chasing deadline, but it's terms of like the SOP. And I'm pretty sure that when we join camps, definitely some ad hoc thing does happen, and also kind of teaches her as well how to adapt and how to be flexible. So I think it's a lot of going the business. I mean, that's more of like her youth that shapes her today. And then when it comes to like us running a business, it's a lot of like being very flexible and adaptable, but in a way where we still need to stand on our ground and make sure that this is the decision that we want to make, but how do we come through it to achieve what you want and what I want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think she might say about you?
Yeah, okay. I think she would say that sometimes because as a person in life, I am quite type A, but then slowly because I'm the person where, oh, you want to do it? Okay, let's go ahead. So that kind of work personality, like, okay, go with the flow. It's okay, you guys can just learn. Like, mistakes are bound to happen, but then that kind of become my personality as well. Then she'll be like, okay, you need to stop your go with the flow thing. You need to be more stern. I'll be like, okay, I'll be more stern now. Yeah. So it's a lot of like mixture of like, when it comes to work and also personal life.
But
Yeah.
so I'm super curious. So in your personal life, you feel you're more type A.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's very specific things as well. So like for example, when I'm cleaning, I need certain things to be done this way. But then when I'm at work, I'm like, ooh, what do you guys want to do? Okay, let's go. Let's do this, let's do that. Yeah. So it's very different. Like when it comes to personal life Esther and working life Esther.
Right.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, when you first started the company, were you immediately like this, or did you slowly start to relax as a
Yeah,
company?
I would say I relax as times goes by, in the sense where I'm not so strict in terms of how I want things to be done, but it's more of I focus more on the outcome right now. If today to get the job done, you have like there are 100 ways, but you want to do your way, you're comfortable with your way, sure. But I will still step in to see how is your way done, because I wouldn't want you to do a 10-step thing just to get a 2-step job done. Yeah, because when it comes to that, I still need to look at productivity and efficiency. I wouldn't want anyone to waste their time just to get a task done. So that's the kind of things that I'm looking into lah. Because I think I'm more of a result driven kind of person. Yeah, but the process it is important as well because it's important to see like, setting the SOP, the company SOP, efficiency, productivity. We have to work smart. Yeah. So yeah.
Why do you think you sort of like toned down a bit?
I would say because I remember there's one very heated argument with Amy when we first started. It was just both of us, and then she want things done one way and I want things done one way, and then it's very so strong opinionated that our parents have been like, okay, you guys just separate each other and don't talk about work, because there's always time where when we are traveling and then when we talk about work and then we just like discussing and then like it kind of became very intense, and then our parents were like, don't talk about work already. They were like, okay, yeah. So I think it was also my first step to take a step back, and if she wants it to be done her way, okay, sure. I'll assess it, I'll take in everyone's input and then process it and then discuss like what's the final outcome. Yeah. But I guess it also grew along the way where Amy also stepped back and do the same as well. So it's a lot of like understanding each other's language and navigating through how we want things to be done. Because if not, then it's just like hours of like arguing or like finalizing the idea, but at the end of the day ideas are not finalized, and then you don't want to talk to each other, all this sort of stuff, like personal feelings get in the way, so we wouldn't want that lah. So we always sort out work issue or personal issue on the day itself, and then we just move on. Yeah.
It's so interesting. In a way, I would even think of like sometimes no one's really sure which idea really works best. There's some compromise, but it's actually more important to just move.
Yeah.
Just take action.
Just keep it going, and then if that way doesn't work, then you derive from it. Yeah, we'll find a way to like climb over like the wall and see what's out there at the end of the day. Because I always tell my team that it's not a big issue if we didn't hit our KPI, if we give our 100%, but it would look like we didn't do a good job if we achieve like let's say 90% of our KPI, but we're only putting 80% of our effort. Because at the end of the day, if we are not pushing ourselves to be the best, then where can all these things actually bring us to? Yeah.
Right. Could you sort of run through the 3 C's of your Machino brand?
Okay, so the 3C. So the first one is definitely comfortable. So it's very important that we have a very comfortable shoes, because I would say that is one of the key value that we want to highlight to our customers. Because when it comes to heels, a lot of people's concept is beauty is very painful. Beauty must be painful. For beauty, I have to tahan, this kind of stuff. But when it comes to Machino shoes, we have a very thick insole. So we want customers or like anyone to wear our shoes, they will be able to feel comfortable. So with comfortable, that will actually bring you to confidence. Because when you're able to walk in heels comfortably, you can actually stand tall and walk confidently. And I would say that that's kind of a emotional value that we want to provide to our customers. Yeah. And can you remind me the third C? So sorry.
It's community.
Community. Okay. So sorry. Yeah. So community. Yeah. Forgot about the
Marketing is not you.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah. So community. Okay, so I would say that community is the one that actually builds what Machino is today. Because coming from the idea where it's just two girls who have who doesn't have any, like both of us, we don't have any social media presence on Instagram, on Facebook. We are literally nobody like back in the days. Maybe just a little small person right now. Yeah. But what we always wanted to do is we always see, like when we're on social media, we always see we always see KOLs, they get like a very good package, very nicely done package, the unboxing kind of like feeling for customers. But then customers can only see. The users, their followers can only see. They won't be able to to have that sense of unboxing feeling. So what we want to do is we want to build a community that we don't just treat a KOL nicely, we also treat our customers as like VVIP, as how all KOLs are treated. So that's how we marketed ourselves in terms of community, building a community, a tight community. So now our Machino club, we call our community a Machino club. It's a group of girls with like 50 girls. So 50 ladies coming from different backgrounds. Some of them are doctors, lawyers, some of them work in government offices as well. So everyone come from different background, but they all share one thing, that is their love for Machino, the comfortable shoes. And it is also, I would say it's also kind of like their networking space as well, where they get to meet up once a while just to catch up with each other's life. And then a lot of them are in different phases of life, so you can see like motherhood people, and then their kids are like this age, and then you can see young ladies who are working in corporate, and then they are this age. So it's very fascinating to see different background of people coming together, and then they're at one event just to share one love and to share their support for us, which is something that I would never take it for granted, which I'm very grateful for them. And they slowly they also become, because of their love to post and like take photos and share their genuine feedback, they also slowly become like I would say like KOL or KOC, like key opinion customers, or they also become like an influencer, where they actually get like other gigs as well, which is how we want to build our community, not just like for ourselves and for them as well. Yeah, so grouping people together and making friendship, forming friendships is very important.
So is this Machino club? So you have a community of 50 people, is
50
it?
people.
Right. They meet up. When? How often do you?
We usually meet up like officially in Machino. Usually we meet up like at least 2 times a year. Yeah, usually when we have big events, but ultimately because they have their own friend group as well, so they actually just do that their own hangout, their coffee catch up on like individually. So I just see on social media, all like, oh, you guys are hanging out, so nice. Yeah.
Right, and then when you meet up officially, like what are they doing?
So usually it's a lot of like photos taking, TikTok like making, because they're always like grabbing each other doing TikTok. But it's a lot of like connecting together again, because a lot of them they actually meet up very often. Some of them are actually like colleagues as well. Yeah. So what we usually do is we also we try to do not just promote our product when it comes to like our event. We try to have something meaningful like workshops as well, to have them to bring some values back home today. So for example, we have done a pasta making workshop, the recent one. So we set up like a pasta station at our store, and then they actually know how to make pasta right now. So with the very minimal ingredient, you only need like flour, water, and egg. Yeah, so they get to bring it home. And then we also do a lot of events where we do like art kind of painting as well, tap as well, like the tufting. So when it comes to community events, we don't just want to do events where everyone just sit down and eat and talk. We also want them to be able to bring tangible and intangible things as well. So that's why, like for example, the pasta. Like now they get to make pasta at home, not just for like themselves, for their family as well, to share like the kind of like work made of love to their loved ones.
I see.
Yeah.
And how does the Machino product fit into this event?
Okay.
Or is it not about the product at all?
I would say that it is, we try to highlight the campaign. So for example, for the pasta workshop, because pasta is like from Italy, and then Italy, you know, when it comes to like Europe summer, everyone is very, you know, like making pasta, eating pasta in Italy. Then we also launched a collection where we highlighted the summer collection. Yeah, but the most recent event that we have done is a closed community event where we invited, because we just launched our bridal collection, so we invited a group of one bride, and then with 10 of her bridesmaids, we hosted a private, I would say a bachelorette or bridal shower. Yeah, a bridal shower just to host her and her bridesmaid. So they get to choose their shoes, and then they get to play their own games, and they get to have like free treats from us at the store. So it happened on like a Friday night. So the whole store was just yes. So we extended like our working hours, and then we have this like community event for them. So it's just doing something nice for like the bride to highlight the bridal collection. Yeah.
Right. How do you decide on like it's so unique, this kind of direction? Like is it Amy because she's driving marketing?
I would say it's a mixture because I think sometimes I'll tell her like put me into the creative marketing meeting because I did the creative juice running as well. Yeah, so I think it actually derived from because when it comes to each collection, right, we don't just want to sell products. We also want to do something that kind of tie the collection as well. So other than photo shoot, other than selling the shoes, what type of events or activity we can do to make sure that this collection is put out there as what we want it to be. So this is just like some one of the we wouldn't want to do like giveaway. Yeah. So we actually luckily that we stumbled upon a bride on a bride to be on our IG. So she was on, I think her bachelorette, yeah, her bachelor party in Bali. So she was only wearing a specific our Machino shoes. So it's called like the Lucky Lily sandal. So she's been wearing it because it's a carousel photo, and then she tagged us. We're like, oh, okay, like interesting. Then we're like, okay, let's just invite her and all her bridesmaid. So her bridesmaid actually flew, one of them actually flew from Hong Kong just for that event on Friday night. And the bride itself is actually from East Malaysia. So she also flew to KL just to join this event that we hosted for her. Yeah. So it turns out a very nice and wholesome event. Yeah.
Right. You mentioned before that you want to be more than just a buatan Malaysia.
Yes.
How do you see yourself as a Malaysian product?
Because our shoes are, I would say like a lot like made of Malaysia. I would say like 98% are made in Malaysia.
98%.
98 in Malaysia. Because some of the shoes, we still have to made it in China. Like for example, the kid shoes. Yeah. So when it comes to more than just Buatan Malaysia, we want it to be representable as Malaysian. So that's where like our Chinese brocade shoes comes in, our Songket shoes comes in. So it is also colors when it comes to like not just your fabric, the colors that how we want to highlight in terms of the festive and the culture as well. That's very important as well. Yeah, so we want it to be not just Batam Malaysia, it is also a when you look at the shoe, you know that, oh, okay, it has some Malaysia elements. So slowly doing a lot of research as well. So our angle is also where when people come to Malaysia to buy souvenirs, for example, they will bring a pair of Machino shoes back to their friends because this is a handcrafted shoes in Malaysia. So it's kind of like a very nice sentimental touch for tourists or like when they visit Malaysia and then bring it and share it to get that commemorate their trip in Malaysia, I would say. Yeah.
So it's handcrafted.
Yes, handcrafted. So each pair is like the uncle like ding ding
Made
dong
by
dong.
someone's hand, right?
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
like
okay.
ding ding dong dong at the factory. Yeah.
Yeah, then I asked because I so obviously a lot of more, products these days they might be imported from China.
Yeah.
China's a very big manufacturer, and
Yeah.
I'm hearing many people say things like they used to be like the mass manufacturer, but
Yeah.
quality maybe not quite there. But this seems to be changing quite fast. The
Yes.
quality is really good
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and what's isn't that as a business owner, isn't there always this like like, oh, if I start importing from China, let's say maybe my cost will come down, etc. Like how do you make this decision?
For me, I think the most important thing is still the quality, because if the moment that you are known for your quality and your quality stops, that's when you won't be able to get your customer retention anymore. And then you might just be the any other brand, and then that's when you have to play the pricing game. Yeah, so we wouldn't want that to happen, because when it comes to even sourcing in China, there's a lot of like grade A type of factory, grade B type of factory. So it depends on what kind of costing that you would want to go for. for example, when we want to get like kid shoes, we also always source for like the kid shoes that has been done by different portfolio. Like they have a very good credibility in terms of like their clientele as well. Yeah, so it's very important that for us as business, even though that you want to keep cost low, but what is the quality that you want to provide? Because quality ties ties very tightly with the branding. And if today my brand cannot provide quality products, that's when people be like, oh, it's not Machino anymore. So we would never let that happen. So how we actually go from there is we hire QC team in China just to QC each pair of the shoes, like every shoes made, even to the dot, where like for example if the flower is like exact dimension as we gave based on the mold as well. Yeah, so it's a lot of like the technical in terms of like when it comes to like the process, when it comes to manufacturing in China as well. Because to be frank, manufacturing in China, not every shoes are like machine mass made. It's very also important that you know and go on ground and see how the factory makes shoes, because most of the shoes, like let's say sandals, they still have to use like human touch to like actually to run the machines, for example, and certain ways are still done manually. So understanding the factory and making sure that they, you know, pay well for their like employees and all this sort of stuff, their benefits are there, that's very important, even if you want to go to like make your products in China.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. And yeah, so if you are, I'm trying to imagine if a young person right now, you know, a fresh grad, and if they're about to come out and say they were in similar shoe as you, like they're maybe looking for a job, but can't really find something that they like, and they think, I want to start a business.
Yeah.
I start a company. What advice, like a, like a company like yours, like I want to do fashion or to sell something online, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
I think the one advice that keeps me going, and one advice that I feel that is very applicable for everyone, is don't wait for the perfect timing to do it. So just keep doing it, because at the end of the day, you'll find a way to revise it and make your plan perfect, because you just have to keep trying. So there's no such thing as like, oh, I want to wait for like this one to be polished, I want to prepare this that. Like just go ahead and then see what's out there, and then you'll find a way to make it work. Yeah. So really just go with the flow. Yeah.
It is right.
Yeah.
Okay? But you
Yeah.
have because I find a lot of times people tend to overplan a little bit or overthink things.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So the easiest way and the fastest way is just put yourself out there, just try it and see what takes you from there. Yeah. So just put yourself like, imagine yourself like a boat, and then you're just sailing. So if the water derives you to like the east side or the west side, just go with the flow, and then you know what's there and what's not there. Then you find your way along the line. Yeah.
Right. But most importantly, get on the boat.
Yes, get on the boat. Yeah, be the sailor. Yeah, be the ship. You know, the captain of your own boat. Yeah,
Right.
that's the
Even
most
though you
important.
don't control the
Yes,
direction.
yeah. You see the tornadoes there, then you need to know that you have to time to turn the wheels. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so what's next for Machino then? You evolved quite a lot, it sounds.
Yeah. So when we first started, we are e-commerce. So we started running, we focus a lot of like, you know, the online conversion and everything. And then this year when we shifted to a bigger space in SS18, so we wanted to provide more customer experience, more community event in the space as well. So what would be next for Machino is definitely global expansion. So we are focusing in our neighboring country first, Singapore, and then slowly from there we want to also grow in terms where it's not just one retail store in Malaysia. So there's more in malls as well. So that's something that we are working towards too. And then like again, being the captain of the boat, see where it takes us.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're launching into Singapore?
Yes, yeah, we're launching into Singapore. We have a handful amount of like customers from Singapore. We did a pop-up there and then the response was very good. So we decided to like just give like our full force and really enter the Singapore market. But we have to localize it a little bit based on the customer's preference, their behavior, because like they commute a lot, they walk a lot. So what type of shoes that are suitable for them? So it's a lot of understanding their customer behavior as well. Then slowly from there, then we'll just deploy this kind of like project in different countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Two last questions.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, first one is, when I was looking at your website and stuff, because when we first invited you here, we said this off camera just now, but my team really loves your products. They were so happy. Oh,
That's
now they're coming out, and I went to your website, and they described to me as like, oh, they sell like lady shoes and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I went to your website. Hey, you're selling men's, is it sandals or something like that? I saw it. Yeah. So, how do you make the decision to go into like
The sandal?
like go into men's the footwear and then like kids footwear?
So one of the value that we also want to provide to our customers is convenience, like one-stop shopping. So whenever we have customers like the ladies or the moms, they come in and they shop, their husband or their boyfriend or their kids just sit there and wait. So we're like, oh, okay, maybe they might be looking for shoes as well. So let's just try it and see how it goes. So the kid shoes did where our first ever launch kid shoe was last year Raya, and the response was very good because the mother daughter kind of matching. It's something that they always wanted to do. I think in terms of the generation, like if today my friends are mom, they will want to match everything with their kid. Yeah. So that's one. And when it comes to like the men's sandals, is actually another line called Wellness. So it's called Machino Wellness. So why wellness is because it has orthopedic care, orthopedic support for the sandals. So it's a little bit of intro level where the shoes have actually the art support where flat foot people actually are recommended to wear these shoes because it gives more support. Even if today you don't have flat feet or high arch and all this kind of like orthopedic issue, wearing it can actually correct your posture, that you can actually feel a relief at the back as well. Yeah. So fun fact as well, Amy and my mom, for the past few years, they never know that they are actually flat-footed. So now my mom actually have to wear that sandals at home in the house as well. So that's the Machino Wellness sandals, actually like a home handles because it helps with like the back pain and the knee joint pain as well. So yeah.
Actually, how do you know if you're flat foot?
You have to go and check it because funny enough, I think Amy and I are kind of like destined to make shoes because this is also another uncle who owns a shoe making factory in China. So that's why we fly to China just to visit the factory as well. So his project and his vision is to make shoes with orthopedic care for patients as well. So when it comes to that, then there's a machine, then you would have to step on it and then you can see how flat your feet is. So in general, everyone must have like an arc when it comes to the feet. So that's how you stable. So it is also a bit of thinking of like the bridge. When you go to the bridge at the bottom, right, it's a very curved kind of bridge at the bottom. So I would say it's depending on like the physics, the pressure, all this kind of stuff. So that's why while you want to get your feet checked, how to know that if you're flat feet or normal feet or high arch, you definitely have to go to like the orthopedic clinic to get checked. Yeah,
Oh, I
and then the
see.
doctor will kind of like recommend you what type of shoes that you can get. Yeah, because if it's not solved during young age, it can become a huge health problem, health issues when you're older. Yeah.
Right. Oh, so I have to go to
Orthopedic clinic.
clinic
Yeah.
to find out. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If not, then it's like I would say that the shops out there, like the MediFit, all these kind of shops, they also provide this kind of service. So we actually have like customers who actually write into us like, oh, I have flat feet. What kind of shoes can I wear? Previously, before we sell the wellness line, we actually recommend them to you buy our shoes and then you see if it's suitable based on your doctor or not. If not, then you just return to us, because we wouldn't want you guys to suffer when it comes to like, you think that our shoes can actually have like orthopedic care, but actually it doesn't. We just have a thicker insole, but then actually there are some chiropractor that actually recommended our shoes to their friend as well because of our sole as well. Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So say fast forward 5 years from now, how do you hope Machino would have influenced the fashion landscape in Malaysia?
I would say from my POV is that yes, definitely more like designs and everything, but I would say that I would want I wish that all Malaysian local brands would actually not just stay local, because there are so many beautiful and creative things that the local brands have been doing, but we're just not out there yet, like in the global POV, global point of view. Yeah, so with that, I would say that it's a lot of encouragement between the committee, the local business committee as well, how we want to bring the brand to the next stage. Yeah, because I understand that some business, they just want to keep it small, keep it in Malaysia, but there are business that they want to scale, but something just stop there, that we won't be able to scale. But what are the things that can actually bring us to the next level? So I think that's for us to find out. Yeah.
Thank you, Esther, for coming here and sharing your story in so much detail.
Thanks for having me.
You, yes.
Virtually.
Yeah, Amy virtually. Yes, we would love to meet her one day too.
Definitely.
And sounds really exciting how you evolve and you've grown.
Yeah.
And now also like you're going into Singapore and all that. So it's pretty exciting. New product lines, new region, new place.
Yes.
Right? So
New
much
customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, new content.
amazing. Right. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to the end of the episode. If you like this, follow us or hit the subscribe button. It will help us bring on more amazing guests and makes the whole show better for you. So thanks again and see you in the next